Got him.
All right.
Got that one.
Good one? Feel like a good one?
Jigfish.
Big fish.
Oh, he's not a big one, but
Hey,
he's a
that's not
fish.
bad. That's not a bad
Not a
fish.
bad fish.
Get out
Little
of the way
Bartlett Lake
here.
bass right here, folks. Look how white that fish is. You know what that tells me?
They're staying down deep.
Well, not only that, it also tells me that the water's been off colored for a while. You know,
Cold
bass
fish.
normally are a real dark green fish, but we're at Bartlett Lake, folks, here in November, and I'm with my good buddy, Andrew Napoleon from A&M Graphics. He's the one that makes all my stuff look great, the boat, the truck, the RV, all that wrapping's awesome, bud. But we're at Bartlett Lake today.
Hoping
and
for a good show.
yeah, he's also my teammate when we do team tournaments. And so we decided we'll make a trip to Bartlett. Let's see how it's doing this time of year. A lot of times it's really good. We do have a north wind that was blowing through this morning, a little bit of a cold front blowing through. Hence the reason why he's got his jacket
Wind's
on.
laid down a little bit.
It's laying down a little bit. And so, you know, normally when we got a high pressure, we get things like that. Sometimes the reaction bite that was going a week ago that everybody was telling us about slowed down a bit. We threw it for a while, didn't get bit on it. Decided to pull up and throw a jig, you know, and a lot of times these fish at Bartlett Lake love jigs. Just a simple spider jig there. And I've got my little weed guard on this. It's a 1/2 ounce, beautiful little jig. Throwing it on 17-pound test line, and I can already feel I got a nick in my line right there from the rocks, so I'm gonna have to retie after that fish. That wasn't a giant fish, but it gets us started, and it gives you something to go by, because if they're not eating the shad, they're eating the crawdads, and you can get into these rocks, and those crawdads will move up into these rocks, and actually, the fish will move in there, and we're not fishing that deep. So we're fishing the bank. We caught a few small, tiny fish right off the bank with our reactions, but it wasn't the ticket that we needed. So we're trying to find a way to catch those bigger fish. So we'll go to a jig and we'll slow down a little bit and see what happens on some of these bluff walls and some of these areas that are coming in with some chunk rock coming in, and see if we can't catch some of the fish doing that. It's a lot of fun to do, you know, and we're still looking. It's always a puzzle that you got to put together to find these fish. We hit the water, we're going to try to find that puzzle today. There's one. Got him. Got him. Got him.
Get
Ooh,
him in the boat. Get him in the boat.
Oh, he's about the same size as that last one, I think. Little bigger. They're getting a little bigger. Beautiful little bass. But you can tell how white they are. They're really...
Does that mean they're
normally
down
it would
deep,
be cold water, but I think it's
deeper
because the
bait?
water's off-colored. We got some real bad stained water here. And normally what happens is that'll push the fish up a little closer to the bank as well. And I'll be honest with you, I was hopping that jig. It's not like I let it sit there. You know, I was hopping it over the rocks, and he came up and got it.
Is he down deep, or did you catch him pretty
No,
shallow?
he was right there up against the wall. We got shade against this wall right here, and you can see it. I know that they'll use that shade to hide in and ambush prey. I do know that. So a lot of times during the day when the sun comes up, there's another one.
Whoa,
I was
you were
swimming
swimming
that.
that.
I was swimming that.
Oh, that's
there
a
he
little bit
is.
better
See?
fish. Good job, good job.
Well, Andrew, we might have to tie you on a jig, son.
I just might have to try it on. I've been trying other things, seeing if I can get it to go, but you're catching them with that jig, so that might be the way to go.
That's the deal. Got him.
Come on, is that a good one?
Yeah.
We got a good one in the
That
boat?
one feels better right there, Bo.
Good, come
that
on.
one
get him in.
feels
Where is
better.
he at? Where you at? Where you at?
I might have just caught him deep, who knows? Right off that. Oh, he's not a bad
A little bit
fish.
better. That looks a little bit better.
Here we go. I knew I felt a bite, folks. Look at that fish, Andrew.
How you getting the better ones
Now
in the
those
boat?
are the ones we got to catch right there, son.
Yeah, a little bit bigger fish.
Back on the jig. You know, one thing about fishing that's a lot of fun is,
Aside from catching.
aside from catching, is to find a little pattern where you can catch them on the same bait, the same technique. And what I mean by a pattern a lot of times is, you know, finding number one, the bait that they like, and number two, the kind of structure that they're hanging out in. Seems like when we find this rocky stuff like what we're finding here, we're catching some fish on. We're really not catching them on the sand, you know? So where you see the beachy type stuff. So if you find the rocks, that's where the crawdads like to hang out. And that was actually sitting on the bottom, just so you know.
You're just dragging it on the
Yeah,
bottom?
just dragging it on the bottom. So yeah, I think that's the ticket. And those little legs like this, especially in that muddier water, they actually put off some vibration. So when you're picking up on it, they're wiggling, and it puts off vibration in the water, and the bass feel it with their lateral line a lot of times. Even if they don't see it, they can feel it. And then of course you got a half-ounce heavy head hitting those rocks, and they can hear it clicking like a crawdad. So it works out really nice.
Oh, I got one, I got one, I
You
got one, I got
Ooh,
one.
a nice one?
Ooh, feels good. Come
All
on,
right,
baby,
all right. Come on, Andrew. What'd you get him on?
He's on the blade, he's on the blade. Maybe he's small.
You want me to get the net?
No, he's
You
not
good?
that big.
Not
He's
that
not
big?
that big, but he's a good one. I'm happy to have him. I've been fishing for
Oh, hey, son, don't
been
you
fishing
lose
for
him.
a long time to
Don't
get
you
him.
lose him.
Come on now.
I guess I'll have to pull my
Come
spoon
on up
back
here.
up. I'm gonna have
I'm
to
on
throw
the
my
board, I'm on the
You're
board.
on the board. Look at that.
Yeah,
On the
look at-
spinner bait.
Look at how white this fish is, like no sun at
Yeah.
all.
That's a Bartlett. That's a typical Bartlett Lake bass. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
all that carbon copy
It
size.
has literally taken all day to get bit.
Yeah, that
Well, we
front,
caught some small ones, but
the
my
front,
gosh.
the moon. Hey, be thankful we're out
Try to
fishing.
make them look a little bit bigger, put them close to the camera. All right, well, let's do it again.
Well,
well,
you know,
go.
here's the deal. We moved out to the main lake, and we were way back in the back. We decided we're going to move out to the main lake and see what happens. And
Small
of
profile.
course, small profile. The bait in here is really small right now. Usually this time of year, the shad are a little bit bigger. But,
Ooh, I
yeah.
got on the board. Give me a high five. I'm just going to act like he's a lot more than he was.
All
I'm
right,
happy
keep,
for it.
Keep throwing it. You got a little breeze going on.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
nothing
happy
wrong with
for
that.
it.
You know, one thing about muddy water too, and we're out here and it's a lot more dirtier on the main lake. It usually will push the fish up closer to the bank. So
And that
a lot of
fish
times
was-
6 inches of water.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was right on the bank. As soon as it hit the bank.
There you go.
But a very, very soft bite. I wasn't sure. I was like, well, I just kind of tightened up a little bit. Whoa, whoa, I got one, I got one.
Did you get one?
He hit it right at the boat. My gosh, he caught me off guard. I don't know how
All right.
big he is, but he acted like he was somebody. My gosh. Bam!
Let's see. Let's see.
I don't think he's that big, but he's
Oh,
fighting.
whoa, that's
Ooh,
a
he's
decent
good
one though,
boy.
dude. That's a good
I'll
one.
take
That's a
him,
good
I'll
little
take
Bartlett bass
Come on.
on that crankbait. Good job.
Man, he hit it right at the boat.
Good
I had
job,
no idea.
man. Yeah, he followed you out off that point.
Come on, baby. Come on back up.
Easy does it. Don't lose him.
Get up here.
You need help?
Oh, yeah, I need help. Come on, you turkey. There's number, I think that's 11. Johnny's got 2. He's doing really good. Trying to teach him the pattern
Good job. Good job. What we've done is we've moved up and we decided, you know, I'll be honest with you, we're throwing these little dredger baits.
He's helping.
These are made
boy.
by Berkeley.
These guys are eating shad like crazy. Look at that.
Yeah. So, and they got little rattles in them, and you can kind of hear it.
You want to
Little
touch
rattles in them. No, I'm good. I'm just glad you're finally catching fish,
Hey,
son.
man, come on.
I thought I was gonna have to be out here all day.
it? I'm pulling my weight. I'm pulling my weight. Boy, he
Good
hit
job,
me right at the boat. Caught me off guard. I wasn't ready.
And that's what's happening too, is I'm seeing a lot of suspended fish, but they're up shallow, you know? And so we figured we just cover some water. And a lot of times you just cover some water with something like a crankbait. Yeah, it's got a little rattle in it or something like that. You can get bit. You just got to cover a lot of water, one here, one there. A lot of times late in the season, these fish will start stacking some of these shad up in the backs of these cuts and start busting on them and all that stuff. But we haven't found that cut yet. We've been covering some water, but we'll keep looking around. We'll see little blips and small little tiny, like bluegill and little bass going after them, but nothing big. So we'll just keep pounding the water down through here and see what we can't find.
Ooh, I think that's a fish. I think that's a
you were
fish.
trolling.
I think that, hey, I
You
was
were
not,
trolling.
I was not trolling.
Oh my
I was not
goodness, look at
trolling.
him.
I was not trolling. I was just
He's right in the middle
slow.
of saying something.
I was just
You
slow
quit
winding.
cranking.
I was slow winding.
Is it a good one?
Heck yeah, it's a good one. He's like, I
Is
ain't
he?
coming. Yeah, I ain't coming with you.
Oh,
Look at
that's a
that.
nice one, dude.
Come on, baby.
All right. Drew,
Good
that's
boy.
3 on that.
I think that's 5.
Is that 5
Bobby,
on
who's
that?
counting? Who's counting?
No.
You know.
Yeah, love it, love it. Good job. So
I was not trolling.
he did. He actually caught that fish off that point over there. So it seems like every point we've hit, at least in this little area right here, we seem to be getting bit or catch a fish on, or he does. But so in saying that, we'll just start doing a little point hopping, see if we can catch some fish,
Awesome.
you know?
Got him, yeah.
There he is, right there in that rock.
That was nice.
On that spinner beat.
Beautiful, baby, beautiful.
Oh, he's a good one
that's
too.
A nice
See,
one.
over here, I was thinking at the dam area, it just felt like there was some nicer fish over here last time.
Well,
I've
you
always
come
done
to the
a
inside
lot
of me
better
over here.
Thank you, sir.
Get him in the boat. Get him in the boat. He don't count till he's in the boat.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
What
good
do we
one,
got
son.
there?
That's a nicer
nice.
fish. Come
Yeah.
on.
Ooh. Now we're in the bigger
That's what I'm
fish.
talking about, son. I told you. Was I wrong?
Nice, good sized bass.
Yeah, those are the kind of fish we're wanting to look for here at Bartlett Lake. Those and bigger. But
Nice
man, I'll tell you,
bass.
they're hard to come by. He's fattened up pretty good. Nice looking fish. We'll let him go.
Would you get him on?
Spinnerbait.
Oh, I recognize
And you
that
know,
blade.
the
I
thing is,
recognize it.
With the spinnerbait, I love to throw it up on these bluffs, let it kind of fall. But man, he was right on the bank. I mean, one turn of the reel and he was right there. And you could almost throw topwater in there probably, but man, I'll tell you, you could cover a lot of water with a spinnerbait on these bluffs and have a lot of fun. I know a lot of guys don't think about spinnerbaiting on bluffs, but I actually grew up doing that. And I've had a lot of fun and caught a lot of fish doing that.
Oh, well,
Got
him. Well,
Right there.
that
Right
feels
there.
like a good fish.
I
Man.
told you, man.
Holy cow.
You said, oh, I
come
don't want to
on.
go over there.
Come on.
I don't want to go over there.
He's not as big as I thought. He was wrapped in something. He was wrapped in
Back to
something.
back cast, and we catch a
Yeah.
fish.
Come on up here with me.
Yeah, there you go, son.
Yeah. Oh, that fish felt like he was a 3-pounder the way he hit it. I'm pretty sure he got wrapped around the cable or the rock there or something. But it's good to keep catching these fish. A lot of fun, Johnny. Good positioning. Good place to take us fishing.
What I love about bluff fishing like this is the fish, you don't have to, they always claim timing's a big deal. So when you're doing this kind of fishing on these bluffs, I mean, the boat's sitting in 30 foot of water here, but normally it's in 50 foot of water off these dam areas, but it's still bluffy enough. But if we were on a flat, we might be fishing up shallow on the flat and the fish might be way out off the flat. And then you go out way out off the flat and then the fish moved in. They call it a timing thing, and you happen to miss it. And boy, if you miss that timing, it's hard. But with a bluff,
They just go
they
up and
move
down.
up and
yeah.
down, so you can present your bait right to them every time and not worry about them being way over here, Oh,
Got him on?
there he is. I let it
Awesome.
fall right there. Right in that shade pocket. Right in the shade pocket.
Another
He ain't a
little,
very big one, but
it's okay.
look at there, son.
Make for
Little spinner beat bass.
bait's turned on. The bait's turned on. Spinner blade bait has turned on. That's for you, Matt. That's for you.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is you notice that the wind has kind of died down, but we still got a little bit of ripple on the water. You can still catch a lot of fun spinnerbait fish, but you notice we have shades. I caught that fish out of a shade pocket, so always hit those shade pockets, and if they're ready to eat, they're gonna be in there. You'll get one. Hey folks, for my tip of the week, one thing really important when you're doing this kind of fishing, it's been slow today. It hasn't been easy for us, but we're catching some on reaction,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so when we're fishing a bluff, a lot of times when I'm spinnerbait fishing, say the flats, things like that, I like a 3/8 ounce, quarter ounce, 3/8 ounce when they're right on the bank and shallow. But I have to admit, when I go to the walls like this, I like to throw at least a 1/2 ounce or bigger, and I'll tell you why. We're looking for that reaction bite. So as I'm letting this thing fall down, it's not falling very slow at all. They have to eat it or just let it go by. It flutters down a little bit faster. I think that speed coming down, they automatically just reach out and grab it.
It's like a baseball being thrown at you. You gotta
Exactly,
react.
you gotta catch it, you gotta react. And if it was a slow moving bait, they could kind of let it fall right in front of them and it wouldn't bother them. But it coming down so fast, it doesn't give them a chance to look or anything. So when I first throw it out there, I let it fall for those few seconds you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's dropping like a rock. So, and the blades are turning. So go to a 1/2 ounce if you get on the, or something bigger when you get on the bluffy stuff and on the walls. And then, go to that 3/8 ounce to quarter ounce when you're fishing real shallow up on those flats. And that should help you a lot at catching those reaction fish.
It sure has made a difference, man. You're catching bigger fish.
Yeah. Got him.
That one?
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Feel pretty good?
Yeah. Not bad. I mean, I don't know how big.
Right,
you know, they open their
pocket.
mouth up. It's hard to tell. Oh, no, that's not bad.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it. I like it.
That was a good
Let me
move.
go up and over you, up and over
All
you.
right.
Oh, hold this
That was
right
a
here.
good move, Drew. See?
It's a good fish.
He's not a giant, but boy, they open up their
Hey,
mouth.
that's
He's
the
a
biggest
good
fish of the day. That's a big fish of the day right
That
there.
was close. I think the other one was bigger, but it's a good fish.
I don't think so. That's a good one right there, buddy.
Come on, baby. There you go.
Yeah, there's the big fish of the day.
Little spinnerbait bass. There you have it. Now we're starting to get on something a little bit on these bluffs in the shade. Catching some bigger fish like that, that's nice. I mean, that's, for Bartlett, that's a good fish.
I agree with that 100%.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
job, buddy. Good job.
We came across the other side over here because I'm like, man, I've done good over there too. Let's give it a shot. Did you get bit?
No, that was interesting. So you let it fall again.
A little bit. I let the bait hit because we're on the bluff, and I just really started slow rolling it and letting the blades kind of fall down a little bit, and then I start bringing it in. And he hit it on the fall. He really did. He thumped it right on the fall. So
Good catch, buddy.
I don't
Good
think they're that
catch.
far off the bank at all. They're right on the bank, but because it drops straight down, you can let it flutter a little bit, and it's like a little shad fluttering with these blades.
Oh, I saw that. I saw your line
Oh,
snap.
there's a
Nice.
right in that shade pocket.
That's
See what
another
I'm
good
saying?
one.
Look at that.
Another good one.
Look at that, folks.
It's another good one. But now you let that one fall. I saw you fool around with your
Yeah, I
rod.
let it fall. I let it fall. And the deal is this shade, they're using it. They're using that shade
Good job, buddy.
to
Good
ambush.
job.
To ambush. Now, I gotta admit, you know, I'm throwing 17-pound test line with this. It's fluorocarbon line, fluorocarbon sinks. So I'm throwing a 17-pound test line with this spinnerbait, and I'm using a medium heavy rod. And then of course I'm using the Platinum Series reel from Bass Pro Shops. I love it, the Johnny Morris Signature Series Platinum Series. And it's a 6.8 to 1. So it's a pretty fast reel. Not as fast as like an 8, but it gets the job done. And you need that 17-pound test line because when you're throwing a hook that thick, as thick as that hook is, you got to be able to set the hook. And if you have lighter line, then you're not going to be able to get that hook penetrated in that bony mouth of the fish. So using the 17-pound test line, you don't have the stretch, and you're able to really get the hook into the fish that way.
Let it sink a little bit. Look at you pop that.
Oh, I got
Pop
it
it
over.
over.
Well,
Popped it over like you've done it before.
we're at the end of the buoys here, so it looks like we're at the end of our day. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us on the show today,
It's
buddy.
been such
I
a pleasure
appreciate
to be
it.
out here with you guys, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, you know what? We've done a little bit of everything today, cranking, jigging, little spinner baiting. I've had a blast today, and I always have a blast fishing with you. Andrew Napoleon from A&M Graphics does a great job, and thanks for everything you do for us. And I'll tell you what, just getting out fishing with you is a blast. It's never a boring moment.
It's always a blessing to be out here on the water with you, brother, and I appreciate it, man. Great job today.
Hey.
You turned it on, man.
Hey.
You turned it on at the end of the day.
Hey, you know what? It takes a super bass man sometimes to make lemonade out of lemons, baby. Hey,
Oh my
thanks for
gosh.
joining us on the show today. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.